Hey guys, what's up? It's Daphne and welcome back to Dreamworldgirl's YouTube channel. So if you didn't know, we hit 50k on Instagram last week, which was insane, and it was just crazy. Like, I could not fathom that we hit 50k that fast. And because we hit 50k on Instagram, we're going to be doing a 50k Q&A. We had you guys ask questions over on Instagram. You could ask anything you wanted to ask about Dreamworldgirl Zine in our process, so let's get into those questions. Okay, so the first question I'm going to answer is from Ruby, and it's what's been your I've made it moment, or what is your I made it moment? I've had so many, honestly, like moments where I felt like this was really the culmination of like my Dreamworldgirl epicness. Like when we sold our first zines in an independent bookstore, like people could go into a bookstore and get our zines. To me, that was like a childhood dream of mine that materialized within a year of starting Dreamworldgirl, actually. So that was really, really cool. Some of the celebrity photo shoots, interviews we've done have felt like I made it moments. Like, this is gonna sound silly because we're friends now and like it's not that deep, but when we got to shoot with Izzy and Emma, that was really amazing to me because I've just admired them for so long. There's an upcoming shoot this summer with another very amazing icon that I literally watch on television who's gonna be in the zine. So, you know, there's whenever I get to do things with people that I've admired and looked up to, it feels like an I've made it moment. And then also hitting 50k, I mean, our goal for 2026 was 60k, and so to know that we are actually already at 53 in April is so exciting. I think those are definitely 3 of my I made it moments. Okay, and next question. Who is your creative director? They always eat down. Not to brag, guys, but I am Dreamworldgirl Zine's primary creative director. While I don't come up with every single concept, I don't run every single shoot, I do most of them, and I am the founder, so I've been curating the image and the look and feel of Dreamworldgirl Zine since the very beginning, and you will notice my name in the creative director credits for a lot of the shoots that we do, but I'm not the only one. We have some really awesome creative directors on our team. Emma, who did our Feeling Fruity shoot last summer and who also co-creative directed A Knight's Tale, which comes out later this week, so stay tuned for that. It comes out right before our theme announcement and right before our submissions open, so very exciting stuff. She's a great creative director. Damn, I've done a lot of them, honestly, guys. So I guess my answer is that I am the main creative director for Dreamworldgirl Zine. So thank you for that compliment. It means a lot because everyone jokes about creative director being a fake job, but I feel like I've been putting in the work. Okay, next question. What was your most challenging piece to write? And I have written a few pieces for Dreamworldgirl, honestly. I've written for the blog and I've written for print. Challenging? I mean, it's honestly, I went to school for creative writing, so writing for me is like second nature. It's honestly a joy of mine, even, you know, heavier topics. I really enjoy just writing in general. I'm trying to think if there's one that was like particularly challenging. I don't know if this is like the correct answer. Like, I don't know if this is actually the most challenging piece I've had to write, but the piece I wrote for our 3rd issue, it was called The Summer Fling, and it was a like psychological thriller kind of surrealist piece that is about like an evil woman who kills all of her partners and has a history of doing that. It's a metaphor for killing summer situationships because we all know the stereotype about those not lasting. So I think what was challenging about that was trying to strike a middle ground between it being like kind of creepy and eerie and like mysterious versus like being like very in your face, like this is what it's about. I had known from the jump that I wanted it to be about, that I wanted a piece about summer flings. That's what I wanted to write about, but I didn't know the angle yet. And then when we did the camp slasher shoot, I kind of got that like edgy, more horror vibe. So I decided to write a short piece about a serial killer who kills all her summer flings. So You should definitely buy issue 3 online if you have not read it already. All the pieces in it are really good, but that's the piece I wrote for it. And I guess it was challenging just in the sense that I didn't really know what the angle was, just the general idea, and then building that out and really striking a balance was a little bit difficult. Next question. How did you all get so cool? And this one's kind of an unserious one, but I love it. Honestly, I think it's you guys. I think it's our community and just like the excess of like talent and passion that comes from people who consume Dreamworldgirl, who support Dreamworldgirl, who work with us. Like, I think that we are only as cool as people that are reading, as people that show up, as people that, you know, give us love, and we have a very, very cool fan base, if you will. So I think that in turn we are cool. Okay, next question is from my girl Jenna Lynn. She said, what or who are some of your fave smaller artists right now? And I'm assuming that she means like music artist. So I'm gonna name 3. Natanya, I literally adore her. I was just talking about her to someone yesterday. I just think she's like an R&B pop soul princess. Like, everything she makes, I eat that shit up. So she's great. Aria, I've been really liking Aria's stuff. She makes kind of like, I don't even know what the genre is necessarily. It's like 2000s R&B hyper pop, if that's even a thing. Like, I don't know, I feel like I'm just throwing genres out there, but she makes really cool music. I definitely really enjoy her stuff. And I'm gonna shout out a friend of mine, Abby, who's modeled for the zine and who's performed at like a zine festival that I put on in November, and it's just all around like a very talented artist, and I think she deserves more hype. I would also like to add Natalia Swan. You guys should listen to her. She's very atmospheric, very cool. Next question, also from Jenna-Lynn. Who or what are your biggest inspirations in your creative process? I think when it comes to magazines and publications, I am very, very inspired by Polyester Zine and Rookie Mag. Those are probably the top 2 that I would list if someone asked me like what inspires Dreamworldgirl and like who are your idols. As far as publications go, those are the 2. General inspirations, I mean, always like 90s, 2000s, Y2K, McBling, just nostalgia in general. We've taken inspiration from 2010s, we've taken inspiration from medieval stuff going into this 5th issue. So really just anything that is of old. I think making new art that is refreshing and puts a fresh spin on what's already been done before is something that I really admire. So anyone that's doing that really in any aesthetic that kind of exists in that realm. I'm trying to think. I honestly, I don't follow too many like specific people that inspire me, like celebrities or anything, but in my personal life I am pretty inspired by my friend Macy, who is just killing it in New York. Yeah, that's who I'll say. I'll shout out Macy. Go Macy, girl. Another question, what are your favorite and silliest moments with Dreamworldgirl? I'll try and go in like backwards order and name 3. Keep it to 3. So we just did our promo shoot at Knight's Tale, and being on that set was so fun. I like made a joke about it, like a TikTok about it, where I was like, you guys have no idea how much I was gay panicking during the shoot, and it's like there's at the end it's literally me like screaming because of how like just like gay it was and how much I like fucking loved it. I was eating it up. So I'm definitely like, whenever there's a sapphic, very like steamy, very fun shoot that we're doing, I think it's like that's always a fun set to be on because it's usually a pretty queer cast and crew, if not all queer cast and crew, which I think this most recent one was. It's just so fun being in that kind of space, but then also everyone was so funny and lovely and sweet, and we just had a lot of fun moments during that shoot. There was a lot of giggling. So definitely anything on set, any shoots are really fun. This is very recent as well, but when we did our anniversary birthday party on Friday in LA, that was a great memory. I love the store that we were in, Nine Lines Vintage, and I got to see so many amazing people. The photos came out amazing. We had cake, some of my favorite lemonade, the music was great, the vendors were great. It was just an all-around like really amazing experience, and I loved it. I genuinely loved it. A lot of new faces that night, which made me happy. And then what's another fun moment? It was right after our merch shoot part 2, which the photos were never edited, and I don't know if they'll ever be out ever, but after that shoot, a few of us got lunch together and had had like a bonding experience. I don't know, it was like 4, 5, 6 of us, and it was really fun and just like a very like nice vibe. Like we didn't even really talk about the zine, so I think it's important also like for us to have moments outside of work, outside of, you know, the shoots and the events, to just bond with each other and get to know each other. And I felt closer to everyone that was there that day after our lunch together. It was very cute. Okay, last question. How long did it take you to build your team and your team's foundation? Honestly, it did not take that long, but only because I'm very impulsive and I just went straight into it. So when I started the zine, I'd like post on Instagram being like, hey, does anyone want to work on a magazine? I'm starting one. And I quickly, within like a couple of weeks, had a team of all Boston-based, all Emerson students, working on this publication. And even though it's not an Emerson mag, I always need to make that so clear. It is not affiliated with that school. It's independent. It was very easy to kind of build that team's foundation because it was all of my peers, all of my classmates, and people that like knew me and knew my work. Laying that foundation, you know, keeping it local, keeping it really close knit at first was definitely a smart move, I think, on my part, because it was just so much easier to build that foundation and then expand from there. So honestly, it didn't take too long. And my advice for anyone who wants to start a magazine is to not dream big, of course, but don't neglect the people literally in your backyard. And that's all the questions we have time for today, but thank you guys so much for asking them, and thank you again for 50 fucking K! We all up. Hope you guys stay tuned for the next video. We have some really fun ones coming up very soon. And yeah, I love you all so much. Have a great rest of your day or night. Bye!